Why is the dollar a safe currency?
Why is the dollar a safe currency?
The dollar is the safest currency. Why is the dollar a safe currency?
Why banks keep the dollar on top of the world.
Why is the dollar a safe currency?
Why is the dollar a safe currency?
The dollar is a safe currency.
Imagine this: a world where the currency you hold in your hand holds the promise of stability and security. That's the power of the dollar. But why is that? Which makes the dollar the undisputed champion of safety in the global financial arena? Or are you wondering how the dollar can be the safest currency? So this is the story. A world bustling with 180 different currencies, each vying for supremacy in the global economic arena. Yet, amidst this cacophony of monetary diversity, one currency reigns supreme, standing tall as the undisputed champion of stability and reliability, the mighty dollar. But why, you may ask, does the dollar hold such sway in competing currencies? To unravel this enigma, we must journey back to the dawn of monetary history, where the seeds of the dollar's dominance were first sown. It all began with a vision of a new nation, forged from the crucible of revolution and imbued with the spirit of freedom and independence. In the late 18th century, as the United States emerged from the ashes of colonialism, so too did the need for a currency to unite its disparate states and fuel its burgeoning economy. Thus, the dollar was born, a currency as bold and audacious as the nation it represented. Backed by the promise of a fledgling republic and the boundless potential of a vast continent, the dollar quickly became a symbol of American ingenuity and resilience. But it was not merely the spirit of patriotism that propelled the dollar to prominence. No, its ascent was fueled by a potent combination of factors, each contributing to its unrivaled status in the global financial landscape. The creation and rise of the dollar as the world's dominant currency is a fascinating tale that intertwines history, economics, and geopolitics. Let's delve into this story, starting from its origins and tracing its journey to global supremacy. The dollar as we know it today finds its roots in the early days of the United States. In 1785, the fledgling nation faced a pressing need for a unified currency to facilitate trade and foster economic growth. To address this need, the Continental Congress authorized the creation of the United States dollar, a currency backed by the promise of the newly formed federal government. Initially, the dollar faced challenges and uncertainties as the young nation grappled with issues of fiscal stability and monetary policy. However, over time, a series of key events and decisions laid the groundwork for the dollar's ascent to global prominence. One pivotal moment came in the aftermath of the Civil War, when the United States transitioned to a system of national banking and standardized currency. The passage of the National Banking Act in 1863 established a network of federally chartered banks and created a uniform currency backed by government bonds, solidifying the dollar's status as the country's primary medium of exchange. But it was the 20th century that witnessed the true rise of the dollar as a global powerhouse. Following World War II, the United States emerged as the preeminent economic superpower, boasting unrivaled industrial might and financial prowess. In 1944, representatives from 44 allied nations convened at the historic Bretton Woods Conference in New Hampshire to forge a new international monetary system. Under the Bretton Woods Agreement, the dollar was pegged to gold at a fixed exchange rate, effectively anchoring the global monetary system to the stability of the U.S. economy. This arrangement, coupled with the establishment of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, ushered in an era of unprecedented economic cooperation and prosperity. For several decades, the dollar reigned supreme as the world's primary reserve currency, serving as the linchpin of global trade and finance. Its status was further solidified by the post-war reconstruction efforts, the Marshall Plan, and the emergence of the United States as a leader in technological innovation and cultural influence. However, the dollar's hegemony faced challenges in the latter half of the 20th century, as mounting deficits, inflationary pressures, and geopolitical tensions strained the stability of the Bretton Woods system. In 1971, President Richard Nixon famously announced the suspension of the dollar's convertibility into gold, effectively ending the Bretton Woods era and ushering in a new era of floating exchange rates. Despite these challenges, the dollar retained its status as the world's preeminent reserve currency, buoyed by the depth and liquidity of U.S. financial markets, the dominance of the dollar in international trade, and the enduring confidence in the strength of the American economy. In the decades that followed, the dollar continued to play a central role in the global economy, weathering financial crises, geopolitical upheavals, and technological revolutions. Today, it remains the currency of choice for investors, central banks, and governments around the world, a testament to its enduring legacy as the king of currencies. Today, the dollar maintains its position as the most important. It serves as the world's primary reserve currency, meaning that central banks and governments around the world hold significant reserves of dollars to facilitate international trade and transactions. The depth and liquidity of U.S. financial markets, including the stock market and bond market, make the dollar an attractive investment destination, which further strengthens its importance. In addition, the dollar's status as the primary currency for global trade, with commodities such as oil and gold priced and traded in dollars, contributes to its importance in the international monetary system. The stability of the U.S. dollar, economic stability, as one of the key strengths of the U.S. economy, is its broad industrial base. Unlike economies that rely heavily on a single industry, the U.S. economy spans a variety of sectors, providing a buffer against sector-specific downturns. While technology centers throughout the country encourage innovation and digital transformation, giants like Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are leaders in software, hardware, and e-commerce. These companies not only drive the U.S. economy, but also set global trends in technology and business practices. As the stability of the dollar is maintained by most of the healthcare industry and financial institutions, the U.S. boasts a huge healthcare industry, which includes pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and medical devices. Companies like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna are at the forefront of medical innovation, playing a key role in global health. And large financial institutions such as J.P. Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup are an integral part of the global financial system. These institutions facilitate investment, capital flows, and economic stability by providing basic services such as credit, insurance, and financial advice. Because the U.S. economy is spread across multiple industries, a decline in one sector can often be balanced by growth in another. For example, if the technology sector faces a slowdown, the healthcare or manufacturing sector may continue to grow, mitigating the overall impact on the economy. This diversification reduces the risk of systemic economic crises and improves resilience. The U.S. financial system is well established, with a network of banks, insurance companies, and investment firms that provide critical services. These institutions ensure efficient allocation of capital, facilitating lending to consumers and businesses. This lending supports entrepreneurship, infrastructure projects, and ongoing innovation. Their dynamic capital markets, including the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, and NASDAQ, are among the most dynamic in the world. They provide liquidity and access to capital for businesses and investors, making it easier to buy and sell assets and ensure a steady flow of investment. Monetary policy and the Federal Reserve, the central bank, play a key role in maintaining economic stability. Adjusts the federal funds rate to affect borrowing costs. Lowering interest rates can stimulate economic activity by making credit cheaper, encouraging spending and investment. Conversely, raising rates can help control inflation by making borrowing more expensive. The role of the Federal Reserve in economic stability. Monetary policy. The Federal Reserve, commonly referred to as the Fed, is the central bank of the United States. It plays a key role in managing the country's economy, primarily through its monetary policy. Here's how. Interest rate adjustments. When the Fed lowers the federal funds rate, it lowers the cost of borrowing. This encourages businesses and consumers to borrow for investments, purchases, and other expenditures. Lower interest rates stimulate economic activity by making credit cheaper, which leads to increased spending and investment. Rising interest rates. Conversely, when the Fed raises the federal funds rate, borrowing becomes more expensive. This can help cool down an overheated economy and control inflation. Higher interest rates encourage saving rather than spending, which can slow economic growth, but also help keep inflation under control. Confidence in the dollar. How the Federal Reserve's proactive management of the economy is key to maintaining confidence in the value of the dollar. Here's why. Inflation control, or inflation management, is by adjusting interest rates and using other monetary policy tools. The Fed can manage inflation. Stable and predictable inflation rates help maintain the dollar's purchasing power. When inflation is low and stable, consumers and businesses can plan for the future with more confidence. Effective inflation control prevents scenarios where prices rise uncontrollably, which can reduce the value of the currency. The Fed's ability to prevent hyperinflation instills confidence in the dollar. Their Fed's economic stability aims to promote maximum employment. By ensuring that as many people as possible are gainfully employed, the economy remains strong. A high level of employment contributes to economic stability and growth, which in turn supports the strength and reliability of the dollar. Consumer confidence. When people are employed and earning a steady income, they are more likely to spend and invest, further fueling economic growth. This creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens confidence in the economy and the dollar. Fed actions provide a sense of predictability and stability in financial markets. Investors, domestic and international, have confidence in the Fed's ability to manage economic fluctuations. This confidence attracts investment in dollar-denominated assets, strengthening the dollar's status as a safe haven. The Federal Reserve's role in managing economic crises, such as through emergency loans and other measures, helps stabilize the economy in turbulent times. Its interventions can prevent economic downturns from becoming more severe, maintaining confidence in the dollar even during periods of uncertainty. Global reserve currency, the dominance of the dollar in international transactions. The US dollar is the primary currency used for international transactions, international trade. The most global trade is conducted in dollars. When countries import goods like oil, machinery, and raw materials, transactions are often denominated in dollars. This widespread usage simplifies and standardizes international trade. Debt settlement. Many international loans and debts are issued in dollars. Countries and corporations prefer borrowing in dollars due to its stability and wide acceptance. This means that when they repay these loans, they do so in dollars, reinforcing the currency's dominance. Central bank holdings. Central banks around the world hold a significant portion of their foreign exchange reserves in dollars. These reserves act as a buffer to protect their economies against currency volatility and financial crises. The dollar's stability and reliability make it the preferred choice for these reserves. Stability and trust. Who holding dollars in reserves instills confidence in a country's ability to manage its currency and engage in international trade. It signals to the global market that the country has the means to settle international obligations. The dollar's status as a global reserve currency ensures high liquidity and demand. High liquidity means that large sums of dollars can be traded quickly and with minimal impact on the currency's value. This is crucial for investors and businesses that need to move large amounts of money efficiently. Financial instruments. The availability of a wide range of dollar-denominated financial instruments, for example, treasury bonds, corporate bonds, equities, provides ample opportunities for investment and hedging. These instruments are highly liquid, meaning they can be easily bought and sold in global financial markets. The US dollar's role as the primary currency for international transactions and its status as a global reserve currency are key to its stability and reliability. Central banks hold substantial dollar reserves to manage their economies and settle international debts, highlighting the dollar's integral role in global finance. High liquidity and global demand further cement the dollar's position, ensuring it remains a trustworthy and stable currency in international markets. These factors collectively underscore why the dollar is considered the cornerstone of the global financial system, political stability, and institutions. The United States is renowned for its stable political system and well-established democratic institutions, which create a predictable environment for businesses and investors. Here's how this stability contributes to the strength of the U.S. dollar. Democratic institutions. The U.S. political system is characterized by a separation of powers among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. This system of checks and balances ensures that no single branch can dominate the government, maintaining stability and preventing authoritarianism. Policy continuity. Stable governance ensures continuity in economic policies, which is crucial for long-term planning. Businesses and investors can make decisions with confidence, knowing that policies regarding taxes, trade, and regulation are unlikely to change abruptly. The U.S. government has well-established protocols for managing crises, whether economic, political, or natural disasters. This ability to handle emergencies without destabilizing the entire system further enhances confidence in the U.S. dollar. The consistent application of the rule of law is another cornerstone of the U.S. political system, significantly contributing to its economic stability and the strength of the dollar. Here's why. Legal framework. The U.S. legal system provides strong protections for property rights. Investors and businesses can be confident that their assets and investments are secure from unlawful seizure or arbitrary government actions. They has a robust framework for contract enforcement. Courts consistently uphold contracts, ensuring that business agreements are honored. This reliability reduces risks for domestic and international investors. Market integrity. Regulatory bodies like the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, oversee financial markets to ensure transparency and fair practices. This oversight helps prevent fraud and market manipulation, maintaining investor confidence. Consumer protections, which contribute to a stable economic environment. For example, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, ensures that businesses do not engage in deceptive practices, fostering trust in the market. The stable governance and consistent application of the rule of law in the United States are fundamental to its economic stability and the strength of the U.S. dollar. Well-established democratic institutions provide a predictable environment for businesses and investors, while a robust legal framework protects property rights and enforces contracts. These factors mitigate risks associated with political instability and enhance confidence in the U.S. dollar, solidifying its position as the world's most reliable currency. Global trade and payment currency. The U.S. dollar is the preferred currency for international trade and financial transactions, which has profound implications for its global standing and stability. Commodity pricing like oil and gold. Key global commodities like oil and gold are typically priced in dollars. This practice, known as petrodollar for oil, means that countries around the world must hold and use dollars to purchase these essential resources. This creates a continuous demand for the dollar. Many other commodities, such as metals like copper and silver, agricultural products and raw materials, are also commonly priced in dollars. This further entrenches the dollar's role in global trade. International trade. A significant portion of global trade transactions are invoiced in dollars, even if the trade does not directly involve the United States. This means that exporters and importers from different countries often agree to conduct their transactions in dollars to avoid exchange rate risk. The dollar is frequently used to settle international debts. Governments, corporations, and financial institutions worldwide prefer the dollar for its stability and reliability. By using a single currency for pricing, international businesses simplify their transactions. They don't have to constantly convert between multiple currencies, which reduces complexity and minimizes currency exchange risks. Standardization in pricing means that businesses can more accurately predict costs and revenues, leading to more efficient and stable international trade operations. Global financial systems and banking infrastructures are heavily oriented around the dollar. This includes everything from correspondent banking relationships to the SWIFT payment system, which facilitates international money transfers. Central banks around the world hold substantial dollar reserves. This practice helps stabilize their own currencies and economies by providing a buffer against currency fluctuations and economic shocks. Many international investments, particularly in bonds and securities, are denominated in dollars. This is due to the stability and predictability associated with the U.S. economy and its financial markets. Also, international loans are often issued in dollars. This includes loans from multilateral institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, as well as private sector loans. The widespread use of the U.S. dollar in international trade and financial transactions, coupled with its role in pricing key commodities like oil and gold, solidifies its position as the world's primary trade and payment currency. This standardization simplifies global trade, reduces currency exchange risks, and supports stable and efficient international transactions. The global financial infrastructure's orientation around the dollar, along with its use in investment and lending, further reinforces the dollar's pivotal role in the global economy. These factors collectively ensure that the dollar remains indispensable in facilitating and standardizing international trade. The U.S. dollar's unparalleled status as the world's most stable and reliable currency is no accident. It's the product of a robust and diversified economy, the strategic role of the Federal Reserve, the depth and liquidity of financial markets, and the solid foundation provided by stable political institutions and the rule of law. Additionally, its widespread use in global trade and finance ensures a continuous and high demand that other currencies simply cannot match. In essence, the dollar's dominance is not just about economic power, it's about trust. Trust in the resilience of the U.S. economy, trust in the integrity of its financial system, and trust in the consistent application of laws and policies. This trust is what keeps the dollar at the heart of global commerce and finance. As we navigate the complexities of the modern financial landscape, the dollar remains a beacon of stability. Its role as the global reserve currency, coupled with the confidence it inspires in investors and nations worldwide, ensures that it continues to be the cornerstone of international trade and economic stability. So, whether you're trading commodities, investing in global markets, or simply planning for the future, the dollar's rock-solid foundation offers a unique assurance in an ever-changing world. This is why the dollar remains, and will continue to be, the king of currencies. Thank you for staying with us throughout the video. This was why the dollar is the safest currency and the king of currencies. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring the world of finance with us.